A shooting at the White House Correspondents Dinner has led to an important discussion of national security. Does the White House really need a ballroom?
And Meg Thee Stallion puts Klay Thompson on blast for cheating and switching up on her while playing house. When you fumble a stallion, do you end up looking like an ass?
And as a therapist and content creator, do you need boundaries on what you post on your platform?
All that and more on this episode of the Black and Snerdy podcast.
Adam has arrived.
Hey, Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snerdy is the best podcast. Gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna meet magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health. No, it's not scary. You know that she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the GOAT, talking about animation cause you know. Odie, she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she's taking notes. Yeah, kick back, listen. Black and Snerdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snerdy, ooh. Black and Snerdy, yeah. Black and Snerdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snerdy podcast, the only podcast where two sexy black nerds get together to shoot the shit. I am Mo, aka Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned Snerds here on episode 185 of the Black and Snerdy podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling pretty okay. Not necessarily anything to complain about, and also everything to complain about. But I am an optimist.
Yes. You are an optimist, and you cannot spell optimist without tit. So, fantastic.
You absolutely...
I should have said tits.
Can spell... Well, I guess it's not.
There you go. Exactly. So, thank you for proving me right. I'm doing well.
Great.
Thank you for asking. I'm doing well so far. The week has been pretty long, and overall things are pretty terrible. But I am staying optimistic. I have a project that I'm working on that I am just diving a lot of my energy into, a lot of trial and errors. So I'll make this really quick. I just got this new app called Whisper for free. It translates audio into text.
I've heard about Whisper. I've seen commercials for it.
Yes. And I spent the last few days taking about 146 of our past episodes, and I wanted to translate the audio from those episodes into text. So I don't know if you remember this. It was Thursday. I uploaded them all into Whisper, and it took until today, Sunday, that we're recording, for it to be finished and completed. Actually, last night, Saturday, like from midnight on, I guess, Friday midnight till yesterday evening, Saturday, the computer was literally translating 146 episodes, only to find out that it actually took all of the words from all of those episodes and mashed them into one big ass file, which is not great. A lot of time wasted, but a lesson learned nonetheless.
Did you upload them to keep doing it again? Or?
Yes. So it's been doing it all day, and it's been doing it individually all day.
So as it does it individually, does it give you the text file, or is it just like do it individually and keep going to the next one?
It does it individually, gives me the text file, and then moves on to the next one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think there's about maybe 20 left to do. And I will be done probably by the end of this recording. So
once
I'll be done that section. I have more episodes that I need to, transcribe, but those are videos, so that's going to take some time too.
So after you finish transcribing them, you're going to put them into the episode notes?
Yes, I'm essentially gonna take those text files. I'm going to make a summary of them, and then I'm going to write the description from the summary.
Okay, you know that on YouTube it gives you a transcript of and I think now also on Apple or Spotify.
But we didn't start doing the YouTube videos until like around episode, I don't even know.
Oh, right, because we're doing it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, but
All right.
but it's okay. I figured it out. I hope to be done the entire project by Thursday.
Well, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And once it's done, we'll have a brand spanking enhanced podcast overall.
Woo.
Yes.
Bum, 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 bum.
Cheers to admin. This is what everybody wants to hear. They want to hear about the how the sausage is made on the Black and Snerdy podcast.
The sausage is delicious.
Yes, it is.
And it's sometimes nice to know a little background.
Yeah. And
how you're doing things.
yeah. And all the work that goes into making this podcast. The dopest podcast in the universe, starring two sexy black nerds.
It is.
Are you ready to get into the shits and the shenanigans?
I would love to.
All right. And we are starting things off, like we always do at this time, with the pop topics.
When you want a hot meal without a big deal, what are you gonna pick?
Pop topics. Yes, pop topics. This is the time where we take a couple topics and we discuss what's really going on. Mm-hmm. And like we mentioned in the cold opening, what's really going on with this nightmare situation that was the White House Correspondents Dinner.
Yes. Well, before we get into all the details, Trump posted up on White House he posted on True Social, but obviously the White House reposted it. Mm-hmm. Build the White House ballroom is what he was saying. Mm-hmm. That's what he wants to do. Mm-hmm. And I am just curious as to, is this building of the White House, is it about security? Is it about politics? Or was this whole thing a marketing ploy? So I'm going to share on the screen what it is, what Trump posted up on his account. What happened last night is exactly the reason that our great military, Secret Service, law enforcement, and for different reasons, every president for the last 150 years have been demanding that a large, safe, and secure ballroom be built on the grounds of the White House. This event would never have happened with military top secret ballroom currently under construction at the White House. It cannot be built fast enough. While beautiful, it has every highest level security feature. There is a plus. There are no rooms sitting on top for unsecured people to pour in, and is inside the gates of the most secure building in the world, the White House. The ridiculous ballroom lawsuit brought by a woman walking her dog who has absolutely no standing to bring such a suit must be dropped immediately. Nothing should be allowed to interfere with its construction, which is on budget and substantially ahead of schedule. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. He writes like one of my middle schoolers and not the good ones.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, he has a middle school education. Oh, I'm sorry, not a middle school education. He has a middle schooler's brain because it's deteriorating every day at a rapid rate. So that totally tracks and it makes sense to me. For our listeners and for a little bit of additional context, there was the
White House Correspondents Dinner.
Yes, the White House Correspondents Dinner took place, and a intruder got through security, or what they called security at the time, and there were shots fired. Nobody was hurt, to my understanding.
There was a Secret Service agent who I believe was shot. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, they're okay. Mm-hmm. They were the only person there in attendance that got hurt. They ended up, the gunman, Cole Allen, was taken to the hospital, but he wasn't shot. It was probably just because they tackled him, or just in general needed to do whatever, like making sure he was fine after the whole thing.
Sure. And that was the response that our president, Donald J. Trump, had to the shooting that occurred at the event that he was at. His initial response, his knee-jerk reaction was, we got to build that ballroom, which I do appreciate is a better and maybe not as catchy, but slightly better slogan than build the wall.
Yeah, well, the ballroom will probably have a chance of being built as opposed to that wall that's been being built for the last 10
I got to be honest,
years.
I kind of forgot that there was even a wall.
Well, they have a
to
piece
be built,
of it.
you know what I
if
mean?
You're talking about a piece of a wall on a long stretch of desert where
Sure.
everything else is open, then yes, he won. He did the thing.
Yeah, but I do think that this marketing campaign to build that ballroom is again a little bit derivative of his earlier work. I just be a little bit more creative. Think outside the box. That's all I'm saying.
The part for me that has been interesting watching all this, one, like, obviously, this is now the third or fourth time he's gotten an assassination attempt or someone shooting in his face. Maybe the third. There was the one where they shot his ear.
Mhm.
I feel like there was another one after that or before, and now this one. Now, I'm curious, is this a ploy to get your numbers up? Because they've been talking about how his polling numbers, his, what do they call them? Well,
Approval ratings?
Approval rating, thank you. How his approval rating is lower than ever, lower than anybody else, especially because of this war in Iran. And so I'm like, is this how he feels like he's going to punch his numbers up every time he seems to do something dumb and people are like pushing back against him, that he's just going to stage?
It's a strategy. It's a strategy that has diminishing return, quite frankly, because
sure.
like, I personally don't give a shit, but I imagine that the more you do something, the less it means, you know, if you go to the well too many times with the same tactic, it diminishes each time. Like the initial time has the most impact. Yeah. And then each initial time after that, it just doesn't have sustainability or staying power. Yeah. You know?
And to kind of exemplify the panic and the sheer terror that was there for everyone, there was a recording that someone took of the way that some guests at the White House Correspondents Dinner were responding to this traumatic event.
Hello, darkness, my old.
Because you can never leave a party with bottles on the table.
Right. For the audio listeners, the person who was at the correspondence dinner is taking bottles of champagne that are clearly on the table.
Multiple people are taking pictures.
Yeah. As a response to being cleared out from an active shooter situation. I got to be honest with you. You know, that's kind of my move at parties, you know?
I love taking home a bottle especially if I didn't bring it.
I mean, like, obviously, like in my 20s, my strategy when going to some sort of cookout or house party or what have you was always like, I will bring a case of PBR and then I will drink the Heinekens that are there or the craft beers or what have you that they have. But then afterwards, I take a little something for myself, you know, like if that is a couple bottles of the very nice craft beer that's hiding in the back of the refrigerator or that nice bottle of Maker's Mark, who knows? It's coming home with me.
It was purchased to be drank.
It's the gift
that keeps on giving.
That keeps on giving in exchange for my presence of being at your, apartment. My gift to you is me, and your gift to me is your alcohol.
Yeah, why not?
See,
I'm here for it.
Equal exchange.
But like, of course, we're laughing. There's been a lot of conspiracies abound. But my question is, for an event like this, where it's the president, his cabinet, so many people like in the media and other dignitaries, etc. Like, what was the security process and how come there was not tighter security? Because I have been seeing responses from folks who were there who were basically like, I just walked up. Simone Sanders, she worked on Bernie Sanders' campaign, communications in DC. She's been doing that for years. She said she pulled up to the Hilton on a scooter, walked in. They didn't say anything. They were like, oh, you probably are staying here in the hotel. And that was it. It didn't go past that. And then someone else posted up a picture of their ticket and was like, this is all I needed to get in. I just brought my ticket. I said, I'm in. And I'm like, that to me is very foolish. Right.
So here's my thinking. Like, personally, I don't believe that this was some sort of staged event.
Really?
I personally don't. I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that if this is America, then it is a reflection of America that the security was probably most likely just very incompetent and very not done well. It makes sense to me. It totally makes sense that at an event where the president, the man who's been assassinated, attempted multiple times in the past, of course the security wouldn't be top notch or top rated. It's the enshitification of everything. Everything is gradually getting worse. And why shouldn't that also mean the most important person in this country, that his security would be, probably second or third rate?
It just felt like everybody was fumbling.
We are far removed from top flight security of the world, Craig.
Yeah.
We are at, a bunch of, much like how I feel about doctors, a bunch of C&D students in the form of security guards and security protocols and security processes. I'm sure that everybody in that place is very good at kissing Trump's ass, but very bad at their jobs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, they put out the name. The person's name is Cole Allen. Initially, the news outlets were reporting that he was killed. He was not. He was taken into custody. He's in the hospital. He's probably in some black site or whatever by now. Who knows? But he allegedly has a manifesto, which some folks are finding it odd because of some of the wording, because he spoke about in the manifesto, like thinking that there was going to be a lot more security. He said, I walk in with multiple weapons. Not a single person there considers the possibility that I could be a threat. So that's like, well, was he typing this in his Apple Notes while he was getting ready to do this? Who knows? But
I will say this. It is very telling that the person who committed the crime has strong feedback on the event that he was committing the crime at. You know what I mean? That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot like if I robbed a bank and told the bank, hey, look, your PIN number is far too easy. It should not be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. It should be a little harder.
5738.
Something.
Yeah.
Do something.
It's almost as if his manifesto was saying this.
You've got to do better, Senator.
And he probably said that to a senator before he shot in the air or whatever happened.
He did say this in the manifesto. I am a citizen of the United States of America. What my representatives do reflects me. So it went on. He talked about more things about who was on the list. Everyone in the administration, not including Kash Patel, which is hilarious.
That's weird.
He's always catching strays.
Yeah.
The Secret Service, only if necessary. The hotel people and everybody, the guests there, only if necessary. And then he went into just more things that he felt like were wrong and why he was doing this. But I don't know. I find it hard to believe that a teacher from California could get all the way to DC on a teacher's salary with guns and all this other ammo. Maybe who knows? Maybe there's some sort of group he met up with when he got to DC who supplied him with these things. But none of it to me feels real. It does like it possibly could be. Who knows? The country is a freaking dumpster fire.
First off, this is America. Anything is possible.
Anything
Literally.
is possible here.
Literally anything is possible.
Anything is possible. But I will say, teachers are trying to save America. But I think in general, this has just shown a lot of the flagrant issues within the country and our top officials, because Obama, the first Black president, went 8 years without ever having a real and true attempt, right? People talked about it. People insinuated, maybe they made threats, et cetera, et cetera. But we went all that time, and you're telling me that this old white man can't keep himself safe for a second term. It's odd, right? It's just weird. And the fact that right after the event, he's like, oh, we're going to do it again. I wanted to go back tonight, but they said no. And then all of a sudden, you have all of these tweets coming out from various far-right MAGA talking heads saying the same thing about this ballroom. So this was the tweet that came out earlier, and it's literally the same copy and paste basically message. We need a ballroom. We need a ballroom. We need a ballroom. We need a ballroom. Shouldn't we have a ballroom? What do y'all want what is going to be put underneath the ballroom that's so important that we need it?
You can take that down now. I would say that nothing screams America like a event like this happening and us being so desensitized by a shooting that our immediate response is, well, obviously this means that we need a home renovation to the White House. And you know why? Because
This is America.
and with that, I think we can, what's your final statement on this whole thing?
I just hope that this does not make Black people's lives harder.
By all accounts, it'll probably make half of Black people's lives harder.
I hope it doesn't make teachers' lives harder. And in general, obviously, glad everyone's safe, because we can have all the conspiracy theories we want. We will not know what is or is not true until 30 years from now when the documents are released. But it's very much an American thing to be at an event, chatting it up, and next thing you know, shots are fired. That's scary. It's horrifying. It's traumatic for anyone. For most of those people in there, I would say they don't deserve it. I don't know. There's a few of them that I would say don't deserve to be scared in that way. But I would hope that these folks, if they were moved by this in any way, I would hope that it would push them to make sure that their everyday citizens and their schools, their churches, their mosques, their synagogues, their constituents are safe, so that they are not having to feel that sort of fear and just having to be traumatized all over again, because that shit's scary. And it's also scary to watch on TV, even if you hate Trump and all those things. It is scary to know that there's a shooting happening on live TV in the most secure event in the country. That's terrifying.
It is terrifying. I'm just surprised we haven't even, I haven't seen any responses that have indicated the usual talking point of there needs to be gun control. Maybe we've evolved past that, but who knows?
There's not going to be, because they are probably talking about we need to just give every journalist an AR-15 so that they can protect themselves while they're reporting. That's going to be the conversation, because nobody actually cares about protecting America, protecting kids, protecting life. It's always just another set of bullshit in the wild, wild west.
And you know why?
America.
And you know why? Because
This is America.
That's just how it is. Well, from White House to Playing House, Klay Thompson's roof just caved the fuck in. Odie, how about you elucidate me with what's going on with him and Meg Thee Stallion.
I would love to. So before we get into the internet's takes, because there have been a lot of them, basically, Meg Thee Stallion has broken up with Klay Thompson. This was the statement she provided to TMZ about their breakup. I've made the decision to end my relationship with Klay. Trust, fidelity, and respect are non-negotiable for me in a relationship. And when those values are compromised, there's no real path forward. I'm taking this time to prioritize myself and move ahead with peace and clarity. Now, that was a very nice, very simple PR message.
Yeah. And honestly, there's nothing that says peace like chucking up the deuces to a relationship.
But she also put on her Instagram, she shared this message saying, cheating had me around your whole family playing house, got cold feet, holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous. Bitch, I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all. So that has had everyone in a tizzy. One, because look at Meg Thee Stallion.
I mean, look at her. Like, I personally cannot fathom how somebody who snags Meg Thee Stallion, who literally wrote a song about wet ass pussy, they look at that and say, you know what? I could do better. You know, that doesn't make sense to me.
I just think that,
or I don't know if I can commit to this.
Everything about
I'm committed to some wet ass pussy.
Everything about Meg Thee Stallion that we know from this parasocial relationship that we have with her.
Sure.
She's a sweetheart. She's super talented.
She loves anime.
She loves it. Like, she's just like a very varied, interesting person. Her backstory is very one of like triumph and getting past hurdles, because she was in college when she first got big, stayed in college, got her degree. I believe it was while she was in college, because I know it was before she had her first big hit. Both her parents passed away, her grandmother. So like she has not had any real support system, which is why when everything happened with Tory Lanez, everyone was so worried about her, because she talked about how she was alone. She was looking for people to be like in family and community with her. And so everyone has just really rallied around her, because even though she's beautiful, she's talented, she's very charismatic, she's never given like mean girl energy. It's like she's just like a cool girl who she's low key, she likes doing what she's doing, but it never made it seem like she wasn't someone you wouldn't want to hang out with, right?
Right.
And then thinking about like what we see about her in this relationship, it was always like, oh, my man, my man, my man. She's cooking his family dinner on Thanksgiving. She's all around him, like just really being a solid partner. And I didn't know this, but previously, Klay Thompson was connected to several women. I know one of them was Coco Jones. He had been with her and had also had some cheating allegations. He was also, there was like two other actresses. One, Laura Harrier. I don't know how to say her name, but she was in Spider-Man Homecoming. They dated, and then there was one other person, but I closed out the link and I completely missed it. But like several women he's been in a relationship with in the past have accused him of cheating, or he said he cheated or whatever. So I guess we should not be surprised. I mean, he's in the NBA.
Yeah.
He has a lot of money. He has a lot of fans. He's attractive. And so we shouldn't be surprised, but I think it's always very jarring when you see like a couple that seemingly looks really good on paper. They seem to have a lot of great chemistry, like they're having a lot of fun together and all this stuff. He would even be, calling people out on her behalf when like the male podcasters would be being weird and gross about her.
Mm-hmm.
So it just seemed like, okay, great. This is a match made in Hollywood entertainment, sports heaven. And now here we go. I think the worst part for me is not necessarily is like the cheating is terrible, but to know that like he was not really treating her that nice because he was having these mood swings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to know more about that. But I just in general feel bad for her.
So the cadence of this is a little bit different than your standard infidelity, because for Klay Thompson, right now, and this is coming from somebody who is not the biggest sports fan in the world, not the biggest NBA fan in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He's apparently doing shit when it comes to the season on the Mavericks. Right now, his career is at an all-time low. Mm-hmm. He's in a slump. Mm-hmm. His scoring average is not good right now at all. And it is very telling that she mentioned the mood swings and what have you. I think it's really telling when somebody is in maybe the lowest depths of their professional career that they would use that opportunity to push their close network away.
Yeah.
And instead, find whatever dopamine hit that they can find in the form of, ironically, thought shit.
Yeah.
It signifies to me that at least I'm, armchair psychiatrist, whatever you want to call it. Like, I think this guy is in the midst of a depression. Career's not going well. Things aren't looking great. And instead of using that time to, work on the connection that he has established, he would look at that and instead run to the dopamine hit of finding somebody else's body, So to me, it just screams this motherfucker needs to go into therapy and deal with this shit. Not to save his relationship. That shit is done. No, like Megan's gone. Bye, Megan. You fucked that up. You ruined it. You ruined it, Klay. You ruined it. And that's okay. Like for the rest of us, it's not okay for you. You fucked up. But it's okay for the rest of us. Great. Megan's gone. Megan is doing her own thing. Like the sky's the limit for her. For you, Klay, the limit is the sky.
I think that this is something, unfortunately, I think that women deal with a lot where because the man is having whatever kind of difficulty in his life, his career, his, emotional, mental state, whatever, what have you, that she's the casualty of war for his life. And I think that it's just so unfair. And you need to talk to the lady because whatever's going on with you, if you have someone there with you who's by your side, trying to work with you through this, help you out through whatever you got going on, be there to shoulder to cry on, and just being a supporter, that should not equate like, oh, I'm going to go fuck somebody else because I'm feeling so bad about myself. I'm going to make you feel bad about yourself and then gaslight you into whatever else. And maybe he also just thought she was going to stay. Maybe because he, the idea of cold feet. Now, I'm curious if that was were they talking about marriage and he was all gung-ho for it, and then all of a sudden it's oh no, I don't know, I don't know if I could be monogamous. That to me is real shady.
Apparently the idea was that he claimed he didn't know if he could be monogamous once the season ended,
and that's crazy to me. You're not even going to, when the season ends, you're going to be at home. It's not like, if you're talking about during the season, if you wanted to have that bullshit response, that's when you're fucking flying around everywhere and maybe hit different holes at your hotel room every night. But you can't be monogamous while you're sitting at home, maybe going to practice and eating Cheetos. What else do you got to do?
Spider-Man Homecoming. Which would have been a better joke when I've been sitting on that and I've been thinking about that after you said Spider-Man Homecoming, I immediately thought Spider-Man Homecoming.
I mean,
which might be the title of the episode.
I doubt that this is going to reduce any of his prospects. I saw like the timeline for the most part is very pro Meg, and I'm seeing that from both men and women and thems. Like everybody's like, how the fuck?
Oh yeah, of course, because now she's on the market.
Yeah, and she will get snatched up real quick.
Why the fuck would I ever like support Klay Thompson when he's been hoarding this amazing dope ass woman, and then he fucked up the bag, and now she's available? Well,
if you were DJ Academics,
you talking about a sexy ass black woman who loves anime?
Why not?
That checks so many boxes.
All of them.
check with wet ass pussy.
And she knows how to cook. Like, it's all these things. It's all these things that are like more points for her, right? But you had men like DJ Academics, who his fucking dick riding ass, like he is always looking for a rapper or a footballer or NBA or sportsman's dick to suck. Mm-hmm. Because every time something comes out about some man being problematic, he wants to be the first pick me to raise his hand and talk about, oh, well, I guess she deserved it. Because he had a long stream, as he's wont to do. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that he says is, oh, I knew Klay Thompson had that in him. I knew he was that nigga, da, 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 da. What you as a grown man, I don't think DJ Academics is married. If he is,
of course he's not married.
I don't know if he's married. I don't know if he has any kids. I just know him as a sad, lonely man who streams in his home with all of these young people looking after him. Mm-hmm. So, okay, he's not married, but he does say he is allegedly in a relationship with a woman named Angelica, but does not have any kids, according to the internet. So,
sure.
I think that he is a lonely, lonely man who gets because nobody is like hiring him to do any real DJ work. Like, honestly, I remember when I was younger, DJ Academics being kind of a big deal. Maybe he was on Hot 97 or Power 105.1. I don't know.
I don't know if he's like I thought he was more close to like a DJ Khaled. Like even though DJ Khaled was a DJ. I
can't tell you what his claim to fame was. He just was always one of those like DJs who you always knew about. You might hear about them, whatever. Mm-hmm. But in the last decade or so, it's been very much like him just caping after dudes for bullshit and like sucking Drake's dick. Yeah. So I'm not surprised that he and all the other troglodytes out there are like dragging their knuckles and beating on their chest to say how much Meg deserved it. Meanwhile, you will never even whiff the panties of a woman like Megan. Not even close. So I'm here for you, Megan. We love you. We hope that you are taking care of yourself and that all good things happen for you because you deserve it.
Exactly. And I am looking forward to seeing Megan Thee Stallion's new anime that she's creating.
Yes, me too.
It looks like it's going to be fun.
And I'm hoping that my friends and I wanted to go see her in Moulin Rouge before she's finished.
She has so many things coming up that she doesn't even need to worry about this. This is a blip in the span of time.
Yes.
She will be fine. Megan will be fine.
Because she's a fucking stallion.
Because she is the stallion. And as far as stallions, we are going to ride our asses out of pop topics, and we're going to move slightly into a different direction known as our mental health section. Our mental health check-in normally is us talking to each other about our mental health journeys, but we're going to seize that time to discuss a larger point within the mental health realm. and it centers around the idea of accountability.
Yeah. So this past week, this mental health influencer named Therapy Jeff, his real name is Jeff Gunther.
Gunther. Sorry.
Well, hopefully I pronounced it right. But Jeff got in trouble because of two different posts that he made on Threads. The first one was on April 17th. And he said, "Is there no dedicated national helpline for men who are scared they might sexually assault their partner, or anyone for that matter? Like if they're experiencing an urge and are worried their fantasies are turning into plans, who can they call immediately? I'm asking because I posted content about men having these fantasies and what to do about them. And I wanted to end it with something like, if you're a man experiencing these thoughts or urges, please call ... But I can't find anything." And so folks were very upset about this. One person wrote, "Jeff, how the fuck is your platform so large, but you conflate sexual assault with a compulsion?" Another doctor, who's a therapist, said, "That's because sexually assaulting people is not a compulsion or a mental illness. It's a choice. There are no national helplines for criminal behaviors like murder, robbery, arson." So people were getting in his ass about that, especially because when he posted it, that was the same day or like around the same time where there was that website that came out. It was called Grape Academy, where they said it was basically a website where men were going on this site to both talk about and learn about how to drug and assault their wives and partners and just women and girls in their life. And it had reached, they said 62 million. I'm not sure if the 62 million was at once or like total views, but obviously people were like, this is crazy timing that you would post this up when this is coming out, and were upset about that. Then the next thing that had everyone's feathers a little ruffled was a response to a sexually explicit response to a post Shan Boodram made. If you don't know who Shan Boodram is, she is a relationship expert. She and her husband are open, and I want to say maybe poly, and they have talked about what like they're talking about non-monogamous, ethically non-monogamous relationships, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So she posted up a question. Men and people with penises only, what's your favorite hand job technique as a receiver? His response was, there's technique, but honestly, a lot of it is the whole vibe. If you're leaning over me, looking a little wrecked and hungry for it, acting confident, playful, and a little bossy, that really does it for me. Technique-wise, the tip is the most sensitive and pleasurable, so tease that spot for a while. Run your whole hand over it a few times. When I start getting close, move faster and focus on the tip even more. When I'm done, it's fun to see you feeling really pleased with yourself. So these two posts have enraged the folks.
I'm going to speak to the second one first.
Okay.
When you have a platform like Therapy Jeff has, and your platform is the kind of platform that it is, you should not be engaging in that kind of conversation.
You think at all?
Not at all.
Even if it's something that's just like on your own time, he's not giving therapist advice, like because you're online, you're not a therapist,
not in public.
Okay,
that's a private thing. Like if your platform, like I'm gonna put this as an example. If your platform, let's say, is being the person who created Curious George, you're the guy whose whole identity is creating this little fucking cartoon about a monkey who is, owned by a man in a yellow hat. You should not then go on Twitter to talk about butt play. Because your platform and the thing that you are talking about are not meshing. Mm-hmm. Those are completely and wildly different, topics that do not mesh well. And when it comes to therapy, Jeff, I do not think that, talking about hand job techniques is the way to go when you're, your whole platform is about therapy.
So I think that the first thing that he put up regarding is there a place to send men if they're feeling like they're having these urges, that to me, I did not find it to be like scandalous, right? Mm-hmm. I think as a therapist that is you might want to figure out a way to help people. That you don't have all of the information and the resources, so you're putting it out there, because whether people like it or not, there are places for people who have urges for children, animals, urges of doing things that are not acceptable or appropriate. And there are places that they can go. They're not very well, they're not very like
funded.
They're not funded, nor are they really marketed. It's like very word of mouth.
Sure.
But there are places for people who have these type of things. And I think that the discussion that came out of it of like people who are committing these sort of crimes are doing them from a sense of desire and like compulsion, or not compulsion, but like they want to do it, like they want to cause harm. There are majority of them, yes, like that, but there are some folks who feel like I have something wrong with me, I need help, and those people also need help, and we should have space for those people to make sure that if you're someone who is saying, I have a problem, there's something wrong with me, and I need to make sure I'm protecting the world for myself, great. But I think that he did not have the understanding or the awareness of how to navigate that. And I think that it bit him in the ass. And he came out and apologized. He said that, he did not have the correct information. The way that he was framing it was more as if like the person had OCD and they had this compulsion that they needed to get help with, when that's really not what it is. And he was centering the men. So like that part, it was misinformed, but I didn't find it to be like weird and icky. But like you said about the second part where he is talking about, when I saw that thread post of him talking about these hand jobs, I was like, oh shit, like that's why you have a Finsta. That's why you have you have your therapy Jeff, and then you have your non-therapy Jeff.
Of course.
Because people are going to be, even though I think there should be nothing wrong with an adult talking about sex with another adult. It's consensual. We're doing this. Fine. But clearly folks did not like that. So I think it just talks about the ways that we need to be mindful online when we're talking about things. And when you are putting yourself at the title of like an influencer when it comes to health and medicine and therapy, etc., you have a responsibility where you can't just say things because what you're saying could possibly hurt or trigger or just kind of cheapen the other things that you have to say.
Personally, I just believe that when you have a large platform, it is your duty and your due diligence to research and do all of the due diligence before you present something to your audience. That's just it. All and simple. That's all it is. Okay? Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. And that has been our mental health corner, making very strong points about therapy, Jeff. You do better. Just do better, therapy, Jeff. With that being said, we are going to talk about the things that made us mad.
Bringing it. What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This safe space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
What is making you mad this week?
All right. So I saw this post on that's been going around the socials. It trigger warning. It has to do with someone who has SA'd and pedophiled in the past.
Warning.
Okay. So in Texas, there is a coach has been hired for a little league team. And this was the notice in the baseball registration packet that went out to parents. Coach Tommy can speak firsthand about the dark shadows of sports, especially professionally. He himself, a talented athlete, spent many years praising himself and feeding his flesh. The Lord so graciously refused to let the world have him and rescued him from his sin in a tremendously dramatic yet necessary way. Tommy now spends his time pouring into young men around him, helping them navigate this tricky culture with Christ. His heart is to not only share his vast knowledge of baseball skills, but more importantly, the freedom he found in his Redeemer. Before you commit to Coach Tommy's leadership, you can check out his testimony. There's a whole thing about him. And you have to sign off to agree that your child will be in this little league with this man. And they're basically telling the parents that he's an offender, and they want you to sign this waiver to allow your child to be on this little league team with him. And if you don't, your child's just going to be left out in the dust, like not G Baby, whatever Michael B. Jordan's character was in Hardball.
I am just going to make this quick. If you are trying to convince parents that the coach on a little league team should be working with children, maybe don't use the phrase pour into them in the waiver that discusses this. And as soon as I saw pouring into use, I thought, boy, oh boy, they missed the point of a waiver.
Apparently, this is a very MAGA far right part of Texas. And it's just crazy to me because they're always going after trans folks, drag queens, anyone in the LGBTQIA community, immigrants, Black people, whatever the case may be, Muslims. Meanwhile, this Christian man who was hurting children, you are trying to have people sign their children away to work with him to also be abused. It's shitty. It's fucked up. And I hate it. So fuck them. I hope the Little League gets shut down and the kids have to go somewhere else because no one like that should be working with kids. I don't care if he's had 20 years, whatever, off, he did it 20 years ago. Go find something else to be a receptionist. You don't need to be working with the kids. So that's it. That's just what's making me mad this week.
Okay. And then as for me, I'll just make this brief. My unemployment's running out. It sucks. And I can't find a job. That sucks. Now we're going to move on to the things that are making us happy. I had this queued up.
I'm the baby merchant. Chops are up.
What's making you happy?
I put away my laundry. That's making me very happy.
Sometimes it's just the simplest task.
Put away my laundry.
Yes. And I am one step closer to overhauling the podcast as a whole. I've been making small incremental changes to the podcast, from the lighting to the cold open. I've been doing a lot of things little by little to enhance this podcast, and we are getting ever so closer to this whole operation being the dopest thing.
Yeah.
and also doing this podcast with you.
Yes. Doing this podcast with you always makes me happy. Getting to spend time with you and shoot the shit and just do something outside of the norm. I love that. So
I agree.
we're getting closer and closer to our 200th episode.
It's Brandon, yes, and you're absolutely right. 185. Maybe we'll do something special for the 200th. Who knows? We'll discuss it. If that's everything, then that's everything. I want to thank everybody for watching the show. We will be back next week. Until next time, take it easy, keep it sleazy.
Don't forget to listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And you can watch the show on YouTube as much as you want. And of course, we always go live on Instagram and Facebook, 6 p.m. on Fridays. So check us out.
All right. Until next time, like I said, take it easy, keep it sleazy. This is the Black and Snerdy podcast where nerds of a feather flock together. Bye. Bye. Thanks for listening to the show. To help the show grow, please listen and download on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or watch full episodes on YouTube. Follow the show at Black and Snerdy. Find me at Licorish is Legit, and Odie at That's OD_E on Twitter, and That's OD_E on IG. This is the Black and Snerdy podcast where nerds of a feather flock together.